One of the other useful concepts we have is a starter GPO. A starter GPO is basically a template with some settings defined in it that you can use when you create GPOs in the future. To look at that, I'm going to go to Tools and pull up Group Policy Management. Open down here on my taskbar. And I'm going to just full screen this. Under my RTS networking domain, I have this starter GPOs folder. Now, right now, I don't have any starter GPOs. What I'm going to do is just right click and create a new starter GPO. And I'm going to name this Security Settings for Devices. And I'll OK that. When I right click and edit this starter GPO, it gives you a subset of group policy. What I have here is just administrative templates for computer configuration and user configuration. Only administrative templates. So you don't get every setting that exists in group policy, just the admin templates. But an example of this, let's say I need to prevent the installation of removable devices. I know that's a setting we looked at earlier. What I can do is go to Computer Configuration, Administrative Templates, System, Device Installation Restrictions, and Prevent Installation of Removable Devices. And I'll just click Enable for that. And I'll drag that window up a bit so I can click OK. And I'm going to full screen this, but you can see that is now enabled in the starter GPO. When I close this, you can see the starter GPO now shows up here. Well, if I go back to the Group Policy Objects folder, and I'm going to create a new GPO, and I'm going to name the GPO RTS Device Restrictions. This source starter GPO is always in the list anytime you create a new GPO. But if you click this, you get a list of every starter GPO you've ever created. So I'm going to click that Security Settings for Devices and choose OK. Now, when I go back to that GPO, RTS Device Restrictions, when I open that, if I go to Settings, I'm going to click this Show All here at the top right. But if we scroll down, I can see under Computer Configuration, the only setting defined, Administrative Templates, Prevent Installation of Removable Devices, that setting is enabled, and there's nothing under User Configuration. So we know this new GPO had that setting copied into it from that starter GPO. So truly a template that you can use. Fairly common that you would use these for security settings. So if I'm in an industry where we have to be compliant with some type of regulation, if you work in healthcare, finance, some industry like that, you could impose restrictions here in these starter GPOs. So if you have some level of autonomy in your environment, so other administrators create GPOs for their locations or their organizational units, you could simply tell them, make sure they apply this starter GPO because it has some baseline security settings. Then they can alter whatever other settings they need in the GPO. So truly, it's just like a baseline template is all the starter GPO actually is. Pretty fascinating.